Probably the most frequent comment and question that I get is how I make my video tutorials for YouTube. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. So of course, most people know that in fact, I'm not sitting in front of a wood panel and I'm really just filming myself in front of a green screen. And although it does take me quite a while to edit my videos and get them all ready to post to YouTube, there are some ways that you could use a green screen to make your tutorials look similar to the way that mine look without it taking as much time. Making green screen videos would be a really cool way to make more cutting edge, innovative videos for your students. And once you learn how to make them, you can also teach students how to do it, and they really get a kick out of it as well. So in this video, I'll be showing you the basics of how to use the video editing software program I use called Screenflow. My name is Sam Carey, and this is my YouTube channel for the new EdTech Classroom. I've never referred to affiliate links on this channel, but I am an affiliate of Screenflow. And if you do decide to check Screenflow out or decide to purchase it, it would be awesome if you could click on the link that's in the video description or in the pinned comment, because clicking through that link will help support this channel. And if you like the tips that I share in this video, please make sure to hit the like button, share it with other teachers that you know, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell to make sure you don't miss any of my weekly updates. Okay, so before we start talking about Screenflow, let's talk about some of the other equipment that you will need in order to make a green screen video. The first piece of equipment is that you're obviously going to need some type of green screen. I use a pop-up green screen, but it's also possible to just hang green fabric or even sit in front of a green painted wall. The key here is that you want it to be one monochromatic tone of green, and you don't want there to be any wrinkles in fabric if you're just using a drop sheet that's green colored. The next important thing that you need is a decent lighting setup, because if you don't have that, you're going to see a lot of green seeping around the image, and I'll show you a little bit of what that looks like in the tutorial. I also use an external microphone, but that's optional, and I do film myself with a camera as well to make sure that the image is really crisp and clear. And then the last thing I want to mention before we jump in is that Screenflow is not the only program with a chroma key feature that allows you to edit out green background. There are other video editor programs that will allow you to do this, but all the video editing software that I know of that allows you to use chroma key does require you to pay for it. All right, let's jump in and I'm going to show you exactly how I make my tutorials with Screenflow. Okay, so what we're looking at here is a finished version of a short video that I just created about how I make my video intros and outros. And what you can see in the Screenflow studio here is that the videos that I put together are essentially built out of a layering system. So for example, if I scroll over here and then zoom in, you can see that the top layer is the arrow that I'm showing to indicate a part of the screen. The second layer is the video that I took of myself. And the last layer is the screen recording. So you can essentially stack as many layers as you would like on top of each other. In some of my videos, I'll have as much as potentially even 10 or more layers, depending on what I'm doing in a particular video. And then all these little cuts that you see just represent edits that I've been making. So I'll show you that in a second as well. Okay, I'm just going to go to the end of this video and show you how I actually do the green screening effect, where I'm able to superimpose myself over either a background like you see here of a wood wall or over the background of something like a screencast. So what I do is film myself. I use a camera and film myself with that camera. So for example, if you look at this layer here, this is just me in front of a green screen talking. So I have my green screen set up. I have my microphone that I will eventually crop out of the picture. So let's say, for example, that I just wanted to put myself over some different kind of background here. What I can do is also bring a background image in. So I'll bring this dark wood background, one of the images I like to use a lot. I'll drag it forward so that it's covering the length of the layers. And obviously you'll see that you can't see me in front of that background yet. So what you have to do here is go up to video and you go down to video filters and then you use the chroma key function. And chroma key is what's going to allow you to key out the green. So when I click add, it will detect a shade of green. I could play around with that shade of green if I wanted to see if I can get it to be a little bit more accurate. Looks like the original shade was actually the best one. And then I can also play here with the tolerance to try to get out some of that green seeping. So you'll see, for example, if the green isn't that great or the chroma key isn't that great, that there will be a lot of seeping kind of around the edges. And especially if you have a low tolerance, then it's going to kind of blow it out. So I'll bring that tolerance in so that it looks more natural. Okay, so that was pretty straightforward. There I am in front of a wooden background. And then all I need to do here is go to the cropping tool. And what I do is crop the sides there so that it looks like I'm in front of that background. And then I just need to make sure that this is stretched to fit the screen. And there you go. So now when I'm talking, it looks like I'm in front of a background. So the concept for how I would bring in a screencast is basically the same. I also do my screencasts within Screenflow, though you could do a screencast elsewhere and then bring it in. It doesn't really matter. You can add any type of layer that you want in here. So let's say that I have my screen recording. What I'm going to do here is drag that down so that it's underneath me. I'll go ahead and make sure that that fits to the size of the screen. And then I'm going to size down my image. Oh, and that's a good example of that seeping actually. So I would need to go back to that filter and bring that tolerance up, or I could also play around here with the green to try to make sure that that gets out. So I usually size myself down about halfway, and then I drag my position where I want to go. So that's pretty much the basics about how it's done. Of course, there are lots of other features that you'll see in the videos. For example, you'll see here that annotation that I bring in to have an arrow show up on the screencast. And then I also do things like add these transitions to the front of the videos that you can do by right-clicking and adding different types of transitions as well. And those are just different animations and actions that you can do in Screenflow. So you'll see here when I click play that that's going to call out a part of the screen that's going to zoom up. And then when the call out ends, it's going to go back to the regular view. And then just to show as well some of the other things that I do with my process here, you'll notice that there's actually sometimes these long gaps where I might be looking at something that I want to say, or what happens a lot is that I mess up on different things. So what I do is go to a part where I want to cut if I'm ready, and then I just cut out the section that I don't want, delete it, bring that layer over, and now those two parts are clipped together. So there's obviously a lot more you can learn about Screenflow, but those are pretty much the basics so that you can understand how I make my videos. I hope you learned a little bit about the techniques that I use to make my video tutorials for YouTube. And just a reminder, if you do decide to go out and try Screenflow, please click through the link in the video description or in the pinned comment to support this channel. And if you have any questions or comments about making green screen videos, please ask in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching my video to the end. If you found the tips that I shared helpful, please share it with other teachers that you know, hit the like button, and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell to make sure you don't miss any of my weekly updates. You can also check out some of the other tutorials I have on my channel by clicking on one of those two videos above. And if you're interested in downloading any of the resources that I've created and show on my videos, please visit my website at www.newedtechclassroom.com. Lastly, if you want to check me out on social media, my Twitter handle, Facebook page, and Pinterest account are all in the description below. Thanks so much and have a great week.